With the establishment of an independent Cascadia, the world was bound to be different. Cascadia was a nation that was destined to fight for freedom, a voice to the voiceless and the vengeance of the oppressed. However, despite the new name and spirit, the people of Ethnopiana consider this nation to be the same old Canada it once was, a trusted ally and friend, now without the stain of imperialism on its historical mark. Together, the Cascadian and Ethnopianan nations could leave their mark on history without being distracted by imperialism and its dark ambitions. Because of this, the Cascadian and Ethnopianan nations have agreed to make a new alliance, the Pacific Atlantic Treaty Organization. This alliance was both a military and economic alliance, tying nations together through shared democratic values and a commitment to fighting against imperialism. American symbols, including the Constitution, national flag, and bald eagle, were once again used, but this time with an emphasis on democratic values and social participation. The goal was simple: to oppose imperialism and authoritarianism whenever possible, so these ideologies would be forced to make way for the advancements of democracy. Now, the Wolcottians had objections to the alliance of Pato. Their concerns were simple. First, the overriding American nature of this alliance. Historically, the United States and Wolcottia had conflicts in which the Wolcottians suffered American-backed genocides. Wolcottians perceive any symbolism related to America to be signs of aggression against Wolcottia. However, figures like Charles Oserwanche of Ethnopiana and George Wallace of Cascadia have responded that this Americanization of Pato is due to acknowledging the democratic origins of the United States rather than genuine racist sentiments towards Wolcottia.
For this reason, other post-American states like Atlantica and Virginia had less of a problem joining Pato. They weren't repeating the same crimes that led to the destruction of Wolcottia, instead building a new future based on democracy and the rule of law.
Even then, the demilitarized nature of the Virginian government prevented it from fully joining.
Another concern arriving from Wolcottia was this: this alliance is inherently anti-Wolcottian. However, in truth, the Ethnopianan government wished to prove this idea wrong in the address of President Charles Oserwanche himself.
I relay this message to the gates of Japitalu itself with intentions set on gaining an audience with Emperor Frederick. This message is one of peace and cooperation, set high on the intentions of seeking a potential Wolcottian entry to the alliance of Pato.
Emperor Frederick responded with a simple yes, setting negotiations within the city of Tartan. This city, part of what the Wolcottians call the Southern Corridors, is rightful Ethnopianan territory stolen by Wolcottia's authoritarians, so Emperor Frederick wanted to show Pato leaders a bustling and free city. The negotiation itself began in a small Macanese restaurant, with the Wolcottian emperor enjoying a glass of Chinese Tsingtao beer, and more modest leaders of democratic nations enjoying a glass of chrysanthemum tea. Once the pleasantries were over, Charles Oserwanche took head of the negotiation and offered his demands.
First, Emperor Frederick, you must regard the issues of the colonial empire. Your goal of turning the empire into a federation of equals may seem noble at first, but it doesn't grant your colonies autonomy or independence. You also have to cede occupied territory to us and Cascadia, giving away your perceived Narstland and Southern Corridors to rule by full democracies. Next, you should enact meaningful democratic reform within your nation. This includes voting rights and separation of church and state. This is because Pato's main goal is to enforce the spread of democracy and be the vanguard of human rights. We cannot just let any nation enter our North American alliance. Third, and finally, you have to use your power as a theocratic figurehead for good. The radical and dissident Order of Coronis has refused to accept the evolved faith sect, giving us pause as to whether you are truly worth negotiating with. You are the head of Thorax faith, and because of that, we demand you intervene to recognize the Order of Minority as a legitimate religious network within Ethnopiana. This is in the name of tolerance, love, and compassion.
Emperor Frederick attempted to showcase his rejection in a thoughtful and resolute manner, but Oserwanche and Wallace saw right through the facade of his disinformation. If you wonder why we're not showing what he said, we do not give totalitarians the right to speak.
Your stubborn refusal leaves us with no choice but to reject your entry into a democratic alliance based on cooperation and unity. We should have known that those values are foreign to you, Emperor, for you seek only a system based on domination and control. You are a cold-hearted imperialist, and we will stop at nothing to destroy you.